to the Gauteng province. Following a briefing by Gauteng MEC for Finance and Economic Development, Lebogang Maile, it has emerged that several municipalities, including the Merafong Local Municipality, have underspent grants allocated by National Treasury. The revelation has sparked anger among residents who say they feel robbed by the municipality amid persistent service delivery challenges that have gone unresolved despite the availability of funds. Well, Newzroom Afrika's Zola Sholwana is tracking that for us. She's in Forchville in Merafong at that local municipality, joining us now live. Zola, good to have you. I mean, the MEC would have said part of the challenge that the Gauteng municipalities are facing is inability to enforce credit control measures to be able to collect revenue, saying so much of the debt that is owed, 73% of it, is actually household debt. However, we're hearing that some money is returning to Treasury. How do residents feel about that?
Well, Thabo, I can tell you that residents here in Forchville under the Merafong Local Municipality are frustrated after they heard the MEC for Economic Development and Finance, Lebogang Maile, in his briefing, mentioning Merafong Municipality among municipalities that have underspent the grants that they were given, grants that were meant to improve service delivery. I mean, we are talking about a community that has had a long-standing issue of water. Not so long ago, we were here where residents were complaining about going for several weeks without having a drop of water coming out of their taps. Some of them are complaining about the state of the infrastructure, how roads have been flooded by water and refuse, not being collected, essentially accusing the municipality on not, taking care of service delivery. Now, the issue of municipalities underspending the grant that they were given was highlighted during the recent briefing by Gauteng MEC, and we know that there's a number of these municipalities in the province, and these funds essentially are meant to improve service delivery, Thabo, as I have said, and infrastructure. Now, residents here are saying the revelation has deepened frustration in communities already battling persistent service delivery problems, including failing infrastructure, inconsistent water supply, and poor maintenance of roads and public facilities. Now, most of the community members are arguing that the underspending reflects a lack of urgency and effective planning by the municipality. And I'm going to be speaking to one of the community leaders here who has been at the forefront of, the water crisis that residents here in Forchville had just about a few months ago. So thank you very much for your time. I mean, we've heard the MEC there essentially saying that this municipality is among municipalities that have underspent their grant. What's your take on that?
Zola, it is very sad that we heard what the MEC have said. I mean, when we look at our community, you would understand that last year you were with us when we were battling, when we were struggling as the community of Kokosi, as the community of Forchville, because of lack of water. We fought that battle until at least we had water in our taps. But that is not the only thing that we are struggling with. There is no services in this municipality. There is no services in this community. You can see behind us how the road is. We don't have the roads. The roads have been taken by litter. And the reason we've got this particular problems is because our municipality is not making serious inroads in trying to do what they are supposed to do. They are relaxed. It seems to them that the issue of service delivery, it's not an urgent matter when it comes to them. They just enjoy if they sit at their comfort places. I mean, the communities here, just as we are arriving here, our people were telling us that it is stinking, that people are throwing dogs. They sit with, dead dogs. They smell those dead dogs, and which is a health hazard to them. But the municipality is not doing anything at all. All that they would do is that once we start to raise these particular issues, they will then be ridiculing us and saying things that are not relevant towards issues of service delivery.
Mm-hmm. The last time we had an engagement, with the municipality, they highlighted an issue of not being able to generate revenue. And they said part of the reasons why they are unable to pay, the water utility, which resulted in the community here not having water, was because people are not paying for their services.
And that's an excuse. It's an excuse for the following reasons. people will only pay if they receive their bills. I mean, the reality of the matter is that the people behind me or the houses behind me here, none of them receive monthly statements that they owe the municipality this much and this much. They don't, I mean, even if our people are willing to pay, I can tell you this thing for sure. There are no pay points in this township. There used to be pay points, and when there were pay points in this township, people were paying. When this administration took over, the first thing that they did was to collapse the pay points. Now, for our people to pay, they have to travel from here to Civic Center, which is about 5 kilometers from this township. Now, most of the people who live here are people who depend on grants and the salaries that they receive. It's not those exorbitant salaries. For them to take a taxi to town, they spend about 15 rand to go, 15 rand to come back, which is close to 30 rand. Now imagine what that 30 rand would have done if they had pay points here. And not only the issue of pay points, I mean, there are no meters here. Now, if they pay for water, they pay for which water? Because the municipality does not take the water readings. The municipality does not do anything about the issue of electricity. So the leadership, there's totally no leadership in Merafong. And all that they can do is to blame people. I have not had a single person in Kokosi who says, I don't want to pay my services. I haven't had that particular person. In essence, there's one lady in Kokosi who in one of our meetings, told even the mayor that, there were people who would come to me that I would direct them to the municipality. Now, the problem is that those people who want to pay, the moment they start to pay, when the municipality or the billing people realize that you are now paying, what they do is that this month you will be paying 600. Next month it would have gone to 1,800 rand. So that's the problem that we are confronted with here. It's not that our people don't want to pay. Our people want to pay. The problem is the municipality.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Thabo, that is a concerned community leader who is quite frustrated about what came out of the briefing that took place earlier on. Now, calls are mounting for greater accountability and, of course, interventions to ensure that Merafong municipality spends its grants to, improving service delivery, to ensure that people are not frustrated, by not having access to basic services such as water, because they've been complaining about inconsistent water supply, the state of their roads and infrastructure, and many other issues that they have detailed in their previous protests that they have held here at Thabo. So we'll continue getting engagements from, these residents and find out how they feel about what was said by the MEC earlier. Back to you in studio.